It's something every man has been through. When someone says something wrong or things don't go as planned, all of a sudden you feel like a match goes off in your chest. Your heart beats fast. Your vision gets worse. You can't take back the words that come out. You've given up your power in seconds. That's what getting angry does. It takes over your life. You become a slave to the present. What if you could never feel that way again? What would happen if you turned into the kind of man that no one could upset? Someone who smiled at rudeness and walked through chaos with quiet, unwavering strength. The Stoics thought this was possible. They even trained for it. You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Marcus Aurelius wrote at one point, "Know this, and you will be strong." That's what this video is all about. Being angry too much, getting rid of it. Getting rid of it from your life, and how you act in it will help you become stronger, quieter, and untouchable. Let's start. Number 1, anger is a decision, not a reflex. We've been told that getting angry is normal, that it rises up inside us and takes over. When someone makes fun of you, you lose it right away. You scream, you yell and leave. You say you're sorry later, "I couldn't help it." That's not true though. That's the lie we tell ourselves to get out of taking responsibility. Because the truth is much less pleasant. You picked it. You chose to be mad. Epictetus showed this lie many years ago. It's not events that bother people. It's what they think about them, he said. This one idea busts the myth that anger is something you can't control. What happened doesn't make you mad. What matters is what you make of what happened. What does that mean? You are in charge of that. It's always been that way. Say someone makes fun of you in public. It gets hot on your face, your jaw gets tight, you can feel the wave coming. But wait, what's really going on? It's just words. There are sounds in the air. Someone who wants to anger you. The insult itself doesn't make you angry. What makes you angry is the idea that you have to respond because your pride requires it, and because giving up means you're weak. That belief sets off the event, not the event. That's the chain reaction. Something happens, you think about it, your feelings are stirred, and you act. And in the tiny amounts of time that pass between steps, your mind is making decisions. Decisions based on your past, your ego, and how you see the world. But here's the big secret. You can break that chain. You can stop after the event and think about how you saw it. You could ask, what else does this mean? Or, is this really worth my peace? As Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius dealt with more stress than most of us will ever have to. He knew how dangerous it was to let his emotions get out of hand. You always have the choice of having no opinion. He wrote in Meditations, take that in. You don't have to say what you think about everything. You don't have to answer every question. Most people never get that kind of strength, the ability to stay calm and unaffected by what others say or do. This thought is very new in today's world, because anger is a big part of our society. Online, in traffic, and in relationships, people tell us that being angry shows that we care, that we are strong, and that we are real. But the Stoics didn't agree with that at all. They thought that anger was a sign of a bad mind, a refusal to use common sense, not being able to lead oneself. It's not just philosophy either, it's also neuroscience. It has been shown that when you stop for even a short time during a triggering event, your brain activity changes from the emotional amygdala to the rational prefrontal cortex. That pause isn't weak, it's strong. It gives your better self time to take charge. When someone tests your patience, think about what you're telling yourself about it, because that's where the anger lives. Not in the present moment, but in the thoughts you have about it. If you change the way you talk to yourself, the anger dies down. It fades before it starts to burn. Being inactive is not the point. You shouldn't let people walk on you. It's about picking the right answer. Sometimes being quiet is the strongest thing you can do. A calm limit can be stronger than a loud voice sometimes. Men who are in charge of themselves don't become doormats, they become strongholds. Don't forget that anger isn't something that happens to you. Anything can happen through you if you let it. You can say no to the request. No, I choose peace, you can say. And making that choice every day turns into your nature. After that, you don't have to control your anger. You grow past it. You change from a man who follows to a man who leads. That's when real discipline starts. Number 2, build the habit of the pause. Men who are strong don't do anything. They take a break. That split second between what happened and what you did is when you have power. You stop the automatic loop when you pause. You change from an emotional puppet to a man with his own thoughts. You always have the choice of having no opinion. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations. In other words, you can always choose not to act. You can always choose to avoid getting involved with something. Take deep breaths, count to 3, take a mental step back. What used to make you happy will not even register as a blip on the radar. The pause is not a sign of weakness. It's a habit. So few people have this kind of power in the world that it makes you stand out right away. Because we live in a society that values speed, outrage, and quick responses. Being the man who stops to think is to become tough. A lot of people don't stop because they're stuck in their habits. It's like they're puppets being pulled by the strings of outside events. They push back when someone tries to hurt them. When someone insults them, they stand up for themselves. But the Stoic doesn't act based on what they feel. He acts based on the truth. When something happens, the only thing you can change is how you feel about it, Epictetus said. That way of thinking starts with the pause. You can choose what kind of man you are in that split second. Do you want to be the kind of man who responds wildly, emotionally, and without thinking? Or do you want to be the kind of man who is in charge, who looks at the situation and who talks clearly and with purpose? You have power because of the pause. You don't play by the rules anymore. You make your own room. Being a master starts in this place. When someone is insulted, disrespected, or tried, and they can still pause, that person is dangerous. Not because they are passive, but because they are clear. He can see everything and pick when and how to move. It's important when he moves. The pause is easy to learn, but not simple to do. It starts with small things, like when someone talks over you, pause. Someone raises their voice, wait a second. Someone cuts you off, wait. It will feel strange at first. Your body will scream to do something. Your ego will want you to say something. But this is the ground where discipline is made. Every stop makes the muscle stronger. That muscle gets easier to use over time. Being calm in the face of chaos doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It means you decide when you do. The pause is like defense. It keeps your energy safe. It keeps your pride safe. It keeps your mind from getting lost in emotional trash. You get back your time when you pause. You allow yourself a moment to pick clarity over chaos and focus over craziness. And sometimes the pause will show you the truth. What you were about to say or do isn't even important. It's not big. It is small. It sounds like noise. The man who can see through the noise can't be hurt by it anymore. No man is free who is not master of himself, Seneca wrote at one point. The break helps you get to know yourself better, not by being shut down or threatened with quiet, but by choosing to do so. You can see the gun, you agree with it. After that, you choose what to do next on your own. During that moment, you stop reacting and start taking charge. You are in charge of your feelings, and that is the main thing that sets a focused man apart from the rest. Take a break. You win. Every single time. Number 3. Stop expecting life to be smooth. People get angry because they think life should be easy, fair, or comfortable, which is not true. A wise person doesn't lament the things they don't have, but instead is happy about the things they do have, as Seneca said. Because you expect things to go your way and people to treat you well, you're setting yourself up to be angry. The Stoics were ready for problems. They were expecting trouble. That way, when trouble came, they were ready for it and not caught off guard. When you wake up every day ready to be challenged, you don't see it as unfair. You see it as your training. When expectations and reality clash, anger often starts to build. Assumptions. People should be nice, roads should be clear, plans should go as planned, and everyone should get along. When it doesn't, we blow up, not because the situation is terrible, but because we thought it shouldn't have happened in the first place. That idea is what makes us so angry. But the Stoics took this myth apart with brutal clarity. It wasn't supposed to be easy. They thought that life would be hard, unpredictable, and not care about their goals. Marcus Aurelius told himself every morning, "When you wake up, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be nosy, ungrateful, cocky, dishonest, jealous, and angry." Why would a man say this to himself every day? Not to be negative? Not at all. To get ready. When you expect life to be real and not your made-up version of it, problems don't surprise you as much. You stop being hurt by the normal bumps in life. You don't ask, "Why me?" You ask, "Why not me?" From complaining to being able to, you change. Think about it. A fighter would be killed by the first blow if he went into battle expecting flowers and cheers. But he doesn't just live if he goes in expecting to be fought back. If he's prepared for that, he is in charge. That's how you should start every day. Prepare for pushback. Plan for delays. Prepare for rudeness. Not to doubt, but to be ready. This change in what you expect doesn't make things worse. It makes you better. It takes away the anger because you're not shocked anymore. Your order gets messed up by the barista? Okay. The meeting is called off? That's fine. Someone forgot your birthday? That's not what you do. You change. You move on after letting it go. That's what Seneca meant when he said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Life isn't supposed to be easy. It's meant to shape you. There are also weights for every sudden event, every bothersome comment, every rude word, and every delay. Weights of emotions. You can either whine about them or get rid of them. The man who wants to be comfortable is always mad. A person who wants to grow is always changing. Not a better life, but a better mind for life is what the Stoics offer. You don't get less chaos. You learn how to stay calm in the middle of it. So change what you expect. Make peace instead of waiting for it. Don't expect people to do the right thing. Do the right thing when they don't. Don't count on things going well. When they don't, you'll be better. That way, you get rid of the thing that makes most people angry: surprise. And when nothing shocks you, nothing can control you. That's the kind of thinking that keeps women at bay. Number 4, study your triggers and destroy them. Anger isn't a mystery, it sticks to patterns. When someone treats you badly, the same way or in the same way, you get angry. You need to learn how to be a spy here. Ask yourself, what exactly makes me mad? Make a list of what sets you off. Then ask yourself, why does this bother me? A lot of the time it has to do with ego, insecurity, or trauma from the past. No one is more unhappy than he who never faces trouble, said Seneca. That's because he can't prove himself. Your triggers aren't bad things. They're maps. They make it clear where you need to improve. Most guys just go with the flow of their feelings and never think about why they feel the way they do. It seems to them that anger happens. It doesn't, though. Getting angry is a sign. From deep inside you, a warning light went off. It lets you know that something is wrong, but it's not always something outside of you. Most of the time, it's inside. Your triggers are not random events. It's a pattern, easily guessed, coming back. If you look closely, you'll see that the same things always set off the same fire. Someone interrupting you, criticizing your idea, or asking you if you're smart. It's not about them. That's about you. This is where you stop being a victim and start being a master. You need to study your triggers like a science. Get a notepad. Remember, when did the anger start? What did or what was said? Who had a part? What did it make you think of? The pattern becomes more clear as you write more. You have more power when you can see more. Almost every trigger has something to do with ego, insecurity, or old hurts. Do you get mad when someone tells you what to do? Maybe you think they think you're not good enough. Maybe the way someone talks makes you think of a parent who made you feel helpless. You might feel disrespected if you still base your worth on what other people think of you. These aren't signs of weakness, they're chances to get better. You have power over your mind, not over outside events, said Marcus Aurelius. Know this, and you will be strong. You can get that strength when you stop blaming the trigger and start getting better at how you respond. But don't just be aware. Desensitize your top triggers once you know what they are. You should go into those settings on purpose. Try to stay calm when someone speaks up. Learn to listen when someone tells you something is wrong. Try being misunderstood without defending yourself right away. It will hurt at first, but that pain is your resistance, and growth happens in struggle. As Seneca said, trouble is not your enemy, it's where you learn. Your mental pressure points are your triggers, but pressure points can be made stronger, and they can't trick you again once you've trained them. Someone can't throw you off with a look or a word. You get steady, held down, not shakeable. Don't try to avoid what sets you off. Go after them. Let them know. Join them. Learn about them until they are no longer useful. Because a man who knows why he's mad doesn't need to be mad very often. Once you know how your anger is built, you can start taking it apart piece by piece until there is nothing but calm left. Number 5, become the silent observer. You're not your anger. You're not your thoughts. They are being watched by you. When something makes you angry, picture yourself standing outside and watching from above. Keep an eye on your heart rate. Watch how tense you are. Do not interact. Just be there. Epictetus taught his students how to take their emotions out of things. He told us that we should watch our emotions and not take part in them. If you watch something, you won't do anything. Soon, your mind will work with you instead of against you. The watcher rules in a world of chaos. Most guys give in to anger when it starts to rise. They turn into anger. In that moment, they've lost themselves. Their speech gets sharper, their fists get tighter, and their breathing gets faster. You're not the storm, though. You're the sky behind it. You take back control as soon as you start to observe instead of connecting. Becoming the watcher is the most important thing a Stoic can do. Epictetus said that facts should be kept separate from feelings, and feelings should be kept separate from the person who sees them. You're not your heartbeat. You're the one who can see it getting bigger. You're not your tense jaw. You are the one who is feeling the stress. That's where real freedom starts. Not with control, but with separation. Don't say anything when something makes you angry. Don't do anything. Just look around. Imagine leaving your body and looking down at what's going on. Take a look at your face, your posture, and how you feel inside. Ask yourself, what is going on here? Seeing something breaks the spell. You can still feel the feeling, but it doesn't own you anymore. Marcus Aurelius said, you have to put together your own life, one step at a time. Everyone should be happy if they reach their goal as far as they can. No one can stop you from doing this. With this in mind, you are a spectator. Your calm inside is your territory. The door has to be opened for someone to get in. There's still something inside you. It means you understand how everything makes you feel. You start to understand that the first wave of anger is usually the least true version of the truth. It's real. This is reactive. And if you wait even a minute, it will go away like fog does when the sun comes up. The watcher doesn't hold back. His mind is clear. He says what the feeling is. This is madness. It wants to have power over me. I don't have to follow it, though. Just putting a name on an emotion makes it less strong. Neuroscience has even proven this. Naming how you feel uses the logical parts of your brain, which calms down your emotions. And as you work on your ability to observe, amazing things start to happen. There is more space between the trigger and the response. What used to make you go crazy doesn't even bother you now. You begin to understand how much of the drama in your life you made up on your own. You understand that you can walk through fire without getting burned. After a while, this lack of attachment feels natural. You can walk into a room full of angry people, rude people, or even heated arguments and stay cool. Because you've learned how to see things from a higher point of view, you're now above the chaos. No one can hurt the man who sees everything but doesn't do anything about it. He can't be tricked, broken, or lured in. He doesn't want to get even because he knows what's best for everyone. He doesn't need praise because he's stable inside. Because he's not inside the blast, he doesn't go off. He's outside. Looking at, stay calm. Okay, be quiet. In a crazy world, a man who can watch without responding is like a natural force. That's what you need to become. Someone who can walk through noise without being affected by it. Number 6, rewrite the story you tell yourself. Anger loves telling stories to itself. When someone cuts you off in traffic, the story starts with, "This guy is rude to me. He's a fool. People are so rude." All of a sudden, you have white-knuckled grip on the wheel. But here's the truth. That story is made up by your brain. You chose the meaning of the action. You can also change the plot because you wrote it. Say that driver is in a hurry the next time. He might be on his way to an emergency. It's not my problem. Or that was a test and I did well on it. Seneca said it best. We suffer more in our dreams than in real life. You don't need to believe it. Pick peace. When anger shows up, it always comes in on the back of a story. Most of the time, that story makes you the victim and the other person the bad guy. But the Stoics knew this was a trick. It's not the event itself that makes you hurt, but how you think about it. When a stranger frowns at you, you think, he must hate me. What did I do? Someone talks over you in a meeting. He's trying to make me look bad. He treats me badly all the time. Your friend doesn't call. They don't care. They shouldn't care about me. Right then and there, the emotional fire is lit by a lie instead of the truth. You took an event, gave it meaning, and then responded to that meaning. You were mad at your own thoughts. This is why Marcus Aurelius said, if something outside of you hurts you, it's not that thing itself that bothers you, but your judgment about it. You have the power to get rid of this judgment right now. Freedom is what that is, not just theory. What you think is not true. They're rough drafts. You write them in real time. You can start changing them once you know this. You can change the angry story into one that makes you feel better. You should say, maybe he's excited, instead of, he's trying to dominate me the next time someone talks over you. Or, maybe he doesn't know. It's a chance to learn how to be patient either way. Say something like, maybe she's going through something, and if she's not, that's her loss, not my burden. Instead of, she broke up with me because I'm not good enough. Moving from response to reinterpretation is the first step. This is not rejection, it's training. It means you won't let a fleeting thought change your mood. It's you saying, now I'm in charge of the story. It all comes down to the man who controls the story. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, said Seneca, and this quote rings true. Many times your anger is just a mental picture that you make up. But the more you know about your inner story, the more control you have over it. You can change it, question it, or reject it. You don't have to act like people never hurt you. They do sometimes. But even then, you can choose which story to tell yourself. One that makes you better, or one that makes you worse. Tell yourself the story that will help you relax. The story where stupid people and small acts don't weaken you. The story where you can walk through chaos without losing your cool. Everything will be different after hearing that story. I choose peace is the first line of it. Number 7, use anger as fuel, not fire. A strong fact is that anger has power. It's rough, crazy, and powerful. But most guys waste it by running into walls, yelling, and blowing things up. That's weakness that looks like strength. Something different is done by a man who is organized. He turns that fire into something useful. Going to the gym, into his plans, into making something that will last. He said the soul that has been trained to master itself is unbeatable. Make fire, but don't let it burn down the things you're making. At its core, anger is power. But energy is neutral. Until it's used, it's not good or bad. For most guys, when they feel that surge, they let it go. They yell, they hit, they wind up. But tantrums don't show that you're strong. They show that your feelings control you, that the force you should be in charge of has turned you into its servant. The Stoics taught changing things, not pushing things down, using strong feelings for a reason. Musonius Rufus didn't mean emotionlessness when he said the soul that has been trained to master itself is invincible. He meant control, being able to change heat into electricity. So take a moment to breathe when that familiar burn starts, when someone cuts you off, insults you, or treats you badly. Do not waste it. Do not let it ruin your day. Change its path. Get up and work out. Work, write, and build. Make your space clean. Move your life along. Don't let the fire burn away your peace. Use it to fuel your progress. As you may have noticed, you have a strange focus when you're mad, a determination that cuts through doubt. But that power turns into chaos when there is no order. If you train it, it can be used as a weapon, a force that is focused, quiet, and never stops. The best warriors don't scream. They kill. Anger can either break you down or help you build something better. It depends on how you use it. Remember that fire can either destroy a house or make steel stronger. The same force, not the same result. One of the most powerful people in history, Marcus Aurelius, said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the person who hurt you." What does that mean? Don't bring yourself down to other people's chaos. Get up. Don't lose your focus. Use that time to make it stronger. When the old urge to react starts to rise, when your heart starts to race, make a new choice. Make a face. Not to be sarcastic, but because I get it. You were given fuel. Do something with it now. People who use their fire to build will always win over people who use their fire to destroy. Number 8, practice daily mental rehearsal. When things are going crazy, you don't become calm. Before it, you feel calm. The Stoics did something every morning called premeditatio malorum, which means they thought about all the bad things that could happen. Marcus Aurelius told himself every morning, "Today I will meet busybodies, people who are ungrateful, haughty, dishonest, jealous, and unfriendly." There was no negativity here. It was getting ready. The man who has already been through the storm doesn't flinch when it hits. Prepare for the day by going over it again. Imagine the weight, the abuse, and the lack of respect, and picture yourself not caring. You don't just want to keep calm. Your goal is to stay cool. Every day, men go into the battleground of life without any weapons, with only hope. Then they don't understand why even the smallest slight can throw them off track. But the Stoics didn't care about hope. They had a plan, a weapon, an everyday habit. The premeditation of evils, or the premeditatio malorum, wasn't about being pessimistic. It was about getting the mind ready. It's getting ready for chaos. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for comments to see how calm he was. He was ready for them. He worked out for them. In the early morning quiet, he thought about the rude, annoying, and hostile people that were around him before he even left his room. That's why he didn't flinch when life hit him hard. In his mind, he had already been hit that 100 times. Now ask yourself, what do you do first thing in the morning? Do you read? How do you react? Do you float? Do you train? Tomorrow, sit still before anyone touches you. Close your eyes. Picture someone trying to trick you. Someone is cutting you off. Someone putting you down. Listen to their voice. Look at their face. Then, don't respond, but watch yourself. Look at yourself and smile a little. Keep your breath steady. Picture yourself leaving, not because you're weak, but because you'd rather be at peace than prove your point. This is mental defense. And the noise of the world stops surprising you when you wear it every day. You know it will happen. You've practiced it. It's not that you want to stay cool, you're ready to do so. Epictetus said it straight out. Difficulties show what men are. You don't wait for things to get hard before you figure out who you are. You work on it and get ready ahead of time, and then you show up calm and collected. This method is used by even the best athletes. Before they go out on the field or into the ring, they run through the problems in their minds. It's really hard. What went wrong and getting better. They think they win the fight before it even starts. You can too. What's really going on? A person who imagines being insulted and then trains himself not to respond will handle insults better than someone who wings it. The person who imagines problems and how he'll handle them calmly will last longer than the person who freaks out when things don't go as planned. Repetition, even if you just think about it, is a way for your nerve system to learn. Prepare then, every single morning. It should become a habit. Go through the worst and come out of it cool. Now you see how fighters are made, not when there is chaos, but when there is silence. You won't be surprised when the day comes, which it always does. You'll be all set, and you'll always be calm, not just hope for it. Number 9, kill the ego that fuels your anger. The deepest truth is that your anger isn't about the world. It has to do with your pride. When someone treats you badly, it makes you angry because someone hurt your reputation, because people didn't like your picture. They didn't believe in ego, though. It looked like a chain around your neck to them. It was made fun of and lied about Socrates a lot. He kept his cool, though, not because he was weak, but because he didn't need to be liked. He wasn't making a name for himself. He was making a soul. You can't be hurt when you let go of your ego. You don't have to be right. You don't need to get even. You just need to stay true to your faith. That's strength. That's peace. It's called Stoicism. Almost all anger comes from the ego, which is our weak sense of self that wants respect, approval, and power. The ego screams, "You must defend yourself," when someone insults, ignores, or changes the way we look. "You must be right. People must think you're strong." This starts the fire. But the Stoics showed this lie to be false a long time ago. You get angry not because of what other people do, but because your ego feels threatened. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable, Seneca said as a warning. Though it's easy to change someone's mind if they are attached to their reputation, pride, or image. All it takes is a little criticism or insult. Look at Socrates. He dealt with lies, ridicule, and, in the end, death with calm respect. Why? Because he wasn't making a name for himself. He was making a soul. What other people thought didn't affect his worth. What mattered was his own goodness. He was freed from the chains of ego by being apart. When you kill the part of your ego that wants to be right, acknowledged, or defended, a strange thing happens. You can't be hurt. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You no longer have to fight back against every slight. No matter how crazy things are around you, you stick to your values. This does not make you weak or passive. It means that you won't give in to your pride or the way you look. Though you want to get even, you know that will only make you more angry. But what you really want is peace, understanding, and growth. Marcus Aurelius told himself, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself that the people I deal with today will be rude, impatient, jealous, ungrateful, cocky, and dishonest. He didn't get angry, though. He responded with patience, understanding, and most of all, a lack of ego. Don't worry about being right. Don't worry about being liked by everyone. Stop trying to protect a picture that isn't strong. Because when you do that, anger will leave you. Because anger grows when there are wounds in the ego, and it dies when those wounds heal. This gives you the most freedom. The ability to stay calm. Not because everything else is calm, but because you are calm. Peace doesn't come from other people's acceptance or behavior. It comes from inside you. This is how Stoicism works. This is the real strength of the warrior. Anger is a weakness that looks like a strength. It makes guys irritable, loud, and weak. But no sound? Peace, feeling calm? That's strong force. That is true dedication. The world will always test you. You will always have to push people. But from now on, you won't give up your peace. You take a break. You look around. You are in charge. The wisest person I know said, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stays put, even though the waves are crashing all around it. Be the rock. Don't move. Stay strong, because no one can control you once you're in charge of yourself."